Hey, 1 second. Wow, your future is looking bright. It may seem like solar energy is a recent invention, and according to Google Ngram Viewer, solar energy was rarely even brought up until the 1960s. The term solar cell shares similar results, but solar energy has been in development for nearly 100 years, and research on the topic dates back even further than that. More info in a little bit. EnergySage.com writes that the average solar panel system size is around 6 kilowatts or 6,000 watts, and that you can expect to pay around $18,500 for an average system. But not so fast. In 2016, Congress gave a friendly nudge to those considering investing in solar power. Congress said that 30% of what you spend on your solar panel installation will be covered.
Hey, can I ask you something?
Wow.
What's forget about it?
This is known as the Federal Solar Tax Credit. Unfortunately, unless Congress decides to extend the bill, it will expire December 31st, 2021. But I have no idea how the government shutdown is affecting the bill right now. In the 1970s, the price per watt when it came to solar energy was around $150. Today, it's just over $3, and it's expected to keep dropping, assuming people keep buying. Edmond Becquerel was a French physicist inspired by his father's work in electricity. In 1939, while experimenting in his father's laboratory, Edmond discovered and practiced the photovoltaic effect, also known as the Becquerel effect. When sunlight touches certain materials, an electric current can be created. How this works is, if the light touches the right material, electrons can become excited. If the light supplies enough energy to keep the charges from the electrons separate, volts of electricity are produced and can be stored. The first solar cell used a layer of selenium with a gold film over it. Solar energy is a renewable energy. According to ScienceDaily.com, renewable energy comes from ongoing natural processes. When the energy from sunlight is converted into usable electricity, it's called solar power. But let's keep going. NWWindandSolar.com explains that nowadays, solar photovoltaic cells have a negative film and a positive film of silicon held underneath a sheet of glass as major components. Solar Power World Online points out the difference between solar panels and solar cells. The solar panel is made up of a bunch of solar cells joined together to form a circuit. The more solar cells that a solar panel has, the more power can be produced. The solar cell is like a single puzzle piece, while the solar panel is like the completed puzzle. A myriad of innovative ideas are introduced each year in order to keep up with more eco-friendly demands. This week, I'll be shining light on some superb solar-powered transportation. Let's go. Green, that is. Our first solar-powered moving machine is a compact car by Sono Motors. As of January 22nd of this year, 9,231 reservations for the Scion have already been made. The car and the battery will be sold separately at around 16,000 euros for the car, and the battery will land at about 10,000 euros. The Scion is planned to aid in Germany's mission to put greener cars on the road. There are 330 solar cells with an efficiency rate of 24% attached to the car that can produce just over 1,200 watts, which gives the car a range of 250 kilometers or 155 miles. A solar panel's efficiency rate tells us what percent of the sun's direct light can be converted into energy. With the Scion solar capabilities, 24% of the light hitting the panels becomes usable energy. There isn't any glass protecting the solar cells, though. Instead, something stronger is. It's called polycarbonate. You may not have heard of it, but I know you've heard of police riot shields. Polycarbonate is relative to its strength, and Sono Motors claims it to be shatterproof. If you aren't interested in buying an entire car dedicated to clean energy, you can always seek alternatives, like these semi-transparent solar cells you can attach to the top of your car. The reason I mention their slight transparency is because if you have a panoramic sunroof, you can actually have a peek through them to look at the sky. Some people don't get that joke, but to me it's pretty clear. Hyundai and Kia came together to develop this concept, which will become available after 2019. Although, Frederick Lambert of Electrek.co believes that solar panels on the roof of your car will not be enough to satisfy an energy-hungry vehicle. There isn't a price set yet. However, Toyota currently has a similar solar roof option for their Prius Prime, which will cost you around $2,500. Quote, "A car's roof is just not very big and efficiently positioned relative to the sun often enough to make a good support for a solar array. It's generally more efficient to have solar panels at your house and charge your car there." End quote. The approach Mr. Lambert is referring to is the same ideology buzzing around the mind of Elon Musk. It's incredible to have an electric car, but it's better that your house collect the energy instead of the car. Elon isn't selling us short either. He wanted solar cells on a car to work, but his engineers are the ones who directed him towards the roofs of houses and charging stations instead. But maybe you simply care about how nice the car looks, or you feel a rush of adrenaline with a solar-powered car that makes you shake uncontrollably knowing you're driving the most futuristically phenomenal street-legal cruiser you can get your hands on. If you can keep a secret, I think I have the car for you. The Lightyear 1 sounds revolutionary. The car that charges itself. Under ideal conditions, you can ride up to 800 kilometers without having to stop to recharge. That's nearly 500 miles. But I hope you have some loose change lying around because this car isn't within anybody I know's price range. At a cost of around $140,000, the earliest you could get your hands on one of these is 2020, but there are 10 prototypes being released this year. Let's trek into deeper waters with boats. The largest solar-powered boat in the world was completed in 2010. The name given to the vessel was the MS Turner Planet Solar. It measured over 100 feet long, and in 2012 became the first solar-powered vehicle to circumnavigate the globe. It costed over 15 million euros to make, and the ship has over 5,800 square feet of solar panels installed on it. 2012 news? Come on, my guy. That's so old. Give me some new solar-powered boatage. Alright, you asked for it. This is Peace Boat's EcoShip. It will be the greenest cruise ship in the world, and with 750 cabins, the vessel can accommodate 2,000 passengers. Like something out of a science fiction movie, the EcoShip will have 10 massive retractable photovoltaic sails that will be collecting sunlight in order to provide power to the boat, as well as 10 retractable wind generators that will be able to make use of the whipping forces at sea for the ship's own benefit. Remember how the Planet Solar boat had like 6,000 square feet of solar panels? Yeah, that pipsqueak doesn't hold a candle to this THICC monster, which has 10 times that amount of solar panel coverage. She couldn't possibly get much greener than that, right? No, she can. The EcoShip cuts carbon dioxide emissions by 40%, requires 20% less propulsion energy, and has a plant kingdom, as their official video so delicately puts it. This all gets started in 2020, but there is a less amazing model Peace Boat already has in operation called the Ocean Dream. I think I'm getting seasick, so let's take a flight. Specifically, a fully solar-powered round-the-world journey. And I think I know a couple fellas who can help us. Completed in 505 days, Bertrand Piccard and André Borschberg landed their final flight in the Solar Impulse 2 on July 26, 2016. This sun-collecting dragon had a wingspan of 235 feet and was equipped with 17,000 solar cells. In total, the two men traveled about 26,000 miles, and their final flight concluded in the capital of the United Arab Emirates, Abu Dhabi. In more recent news, the company Airbus broke the record for the longest unmanned flight without stopping to refuel. The flight began on July 11, 2018 and lasted just shy of 26 days. 3 minutes shy, to be precise. The name given to the entirely solar-powered plane is the Zephyr high-altitude pseudo-satellite. So, you know how a Boeing 747 has a cruising altitude of 35,000 feet? Well, this other Boeing project enjoys an even higher life, with an average of 70,000 feet. The applications being considered for this type of technology fall into the realm of intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance. And what about the future of solar-powered flight? Is anything else of note going on? Yes, ma'am. This is another high-altitude pseudo-satellite with the incredible title Odysseus. This craft will be capable of flying for months on end. One of the goals of the Odysseus team is to share better, more affordable internet across the globe, as well as focus on disaster areas, and keep stronger communication between affected areas and the outside help they require. This unmanned vehicle also has the ability to pay attention to the weather and measure ground moisture. All of this while being able to carry the heaviest onboard payload in all of solar aviation to date. We truly are living in the future. I have a confession to make. Last week, I made a mistake. And the week before that, I made the same mistake. I said that the Super Blood Wolf Moon eclipse would take place on January 19th, and I was wrong! I was fake news! So to make it up to you, I went outside in the freezing cold and filmed it myself. Enjoy! Know that the most powerful tool for collecting sunlight is an animal with dark fur laying in front of the window. Let me know what you're interested in. I'll see you next week.